Coming up next, confusion remains over the university's tabling policy after an incident that led to a student petition regarding free speech. Campus will have one more thing to respect, a revised and expanded Koji Park. And with sports, the Wildcats will prepare for a highly anticipated homecoming matchup against Tarleton. Stay tuned for more. This is the Optimist Newscast. Hello and welcome to the Optimist Newscast. I'm Ashley Henderson.
And I'm Zion Webb.
It's a big weekend as students, faculty, and alumni gather to celebrate homecoming.
Yeah, that's right, Ashley. There's a lot in store for this weekend, from a huge rivalry football game to families coming into town. The vibe around the big country is definitely incredible. And that's not all. There's also a special musical performance I hear that everyone's been buzzing about, Ashley. Yeah,
all of these events revolve around this year's theme, Out West, as the university hopes to bring alumni back, reminding them of the home they have in Abilene. Now let's take a deeper look into some of those activities and the biggest news around campus. Zion?
The university's policy regarding tabling in the campus center remains uncertain after an incident that occurred at an ACU for Life table that later led to a student petition for free speech on campus. Optimist reporter Leslie Kerrigan has more on the controversy.
Students have responded to an incident at the ACU for Life table in the campus center last week by filing a petition calling for the protection of freedom of speech. The incident took place when a staff member came up to the ACU for Life table and asked the club to take down a sign saying abortion is murder. A video of the discussion was posted online and led to ACU for Life receiving an email from Ryan Richardson, the vice president for Student Life, saying that the tabling in the campus center should not be used to promote debate. In response to this, Cole Edgar, the president of ACU's Turning Point chapter, filed a petition with the help of ACU for Life, which received over 700 signatures.
We believe that we're not disrupting anyone that's going about their day, walking in or out of the campus center. I mean, the bean is clearly separated from all the tabling, and people are coming in and out all the time. We're not calling anyone over. We're not being loud. We're just giving people the option, if they want to come and discuss with us a certain topic.
Tamara Long, the vice president for enrollment management, said the school does not want to put a policy in place regarding tabling, but also hopes to keep the campus center a tension-free atmosphere for students and those visiting campus.
I think that the campus center is not designed to be a space for the marketplace of everybody's ideas and thoughts. I believe that debate is so important for students. I believe that debate deepens what we believe. I think it helps challenge what we believe. I think it's appropriate. I think off-the-cuff, unmanaged, spontaneous debate is not a helpful part of most communities.
As of last Thursday, the university clarified that it did not intend to put a tabling policy in place. I'm Leslie Kerrigan with Optimist. Turning Point, the organization founded by political activist Charlie Kirk, became an officially recognized chapter in early October. Optimist reporter Michaela Clayton spoke to Turning Point officers about the journey to university approval.
6 weeks after the assassination of conservative media personality Charlie Kirk, the university has launched its own chapter of Turning Point USA, the political nonprofit he founded in 2012. Turning Point officers worked with the Office of Student Life to obtain recognition, a process they said presented challenges.
It was a very long process. It started in June. We officially chartered at a Turning Point event, and then brought it here, and as soon as everybody got on campus, kind of started getting people together. And then as soon as the assassination happened is when things really jumped, and we started really getting into it and gearing up for it.
Turning Point USA runs campus-based chapters where students engage in discussion, advocacy, and outreach around conservative principles.
A lot of people are approved of us. They love us being here. Also, there's a lot of staff, a lot of faculty, a lot of sponsors, a lot of people that have already graduated from ACU that have accepted that this is awesome. And for the student body, it's really mostly just mixed, more leaning towards approval more than not approval. So far so good, yeah.
Turning Point's next appearance will be at the homecoming tailgate on November 1st. The chapter's leadership says they hope their presence will encourage civil conversation on campus. I'm Michaela Clayton from The Optimist.
The funding cuts to Corporation of Public Broadcasting are hitting close to home, as the university's radio station and NPR affiliate, KACU, also lost revenue. Optimist reporter Furman Moreno has more on the efforts KACU is making to regain financial stability.
It's been 6 months since President Trump halted federal funding for the National Public Radio and PBS. I spoke with KSU's General Manager Heather Claiborne about how its funding cuts affect the radio station here at ACU.
Losing our community service grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting hit KACU to 31% of our annual revenue.
Claiborne says they've implemented many things to cover the loss of the revenue.
We increased our annual fundraising goals for the fall and spring fundraisers.
Claiborne says KACU will continue to provide impactful information for the Abilene community.
We strive each and every week to make sure that we're serving listeners with information that is really impactful to their daily lives.
Outside of the budget cuts, the radio station has stayed in operation for over 40 years because of its student workers. Moving forward, KSU is turning community loyalty into financial support as it adjusts to a new era without federal aid. I am Furman Moreno with The Optimist.
There is a big weekend in sports coming up here at home that may determine who wins the United Athletic Conference.
Yeah, Zion, last year ACU won on the road in thrilling fashion over Tarleton State to win the UIC crown, but this year they have to defend their home turf.
Yeah, with more on that, we will send it over to Roman Verfilli at Wildcat Stadium.
Thanks, guys. The fate of the United Athletic Conference could come down to the results here at Anthony Field this weekend. The Texans faced the Wildcats in Abilene after the Wildcats went to Stephenville last year and got a victory that won them the United Athletic Conference in that game, final week of the season. This time, further up in the schedule, but still an important game for both. If the Wildcats are able to win, they'd own the tiebreaker head-to-head if both teams end with the same record at the end of the season. But it's going to take a lot to beat what's been a dominant performance on both sides of the ball for the Texans all season long. A good rushing attack, a good passing attack, led by senior Victor Gabalis, who's only thrown one interception so far this season. For the Wildcats, it's going to come down to forcing those turnovers and playing off the crowd at Anthony Field. Talked to Kagan Roach, edge rusher for the Wildcats. He said that they've done a good job forcing those turnovers at home, but have struggled to do that on the road. If they can get back to doing that at home, they'll have a good shot. And Coach Patterson's confident in their guys. They need to control the ball, win on third down, both offensively and defensively. And if they're going to do that, they'll have a good chance to beat the Texans. Guys, back to you.
Basketball season is set to start next Monday with a doubleheader here in Moody Coliseum. In the coaches poll, the men were chosen this past Wednesday to finish third in the Western Athletic Conference, while the women were chosen to finish first. Optimist reporter Hayden DeLand tells us what both teams have been doing to prepare for the upcoming season.
The men's and women's basketball season will begin on Monday with a doubleheader here in Moody Coliseum, as the women will face Howard Payne University at 5:30 and the men will face McMurray University at 8. Last season, the women finished with a 22-13 record, ending the season with a third-round exit of the women's NIT.
It's in right now. We've been changing our defense up a lot, and so I'm excited for a game. I think that we're ready for the first game. Obviously, lots of improvement yet to come, but I think we're ready to play someone for real.
Junior guard Peyton Hull was announced as the preseason Women's WAC Player of the Year last week by ESPN.
This year, though, I want to help my teammates more, I don't know, get them open more. I know I score a lot, by myself, but I think contributing, making the extra pass and, just getting them open and helping them out.
Hull previously won WAC Freshman of the Year 2 years ago, but was sidelined the majority of last season due to a wrist injury, and she was only able to play 22 games. In those 22 games, Hull was still able to lead the team in scoring with 19 points per game. On the other side of things, the men finished last season with a 16-16 record and lost in the first round of the WAC tournament. In the offseason, head coach Brett Tanner lost 3 of his starters, but was able to bring in 6 new faces, including 3 transfers and 3 new freshmen.
We also have a lot of new faces. I think sometimes that gets lost with how many returners we got, right? So we have one of the toughest schedules probably in mid-major basketball in the non-conference, and so we've got to just trust the process and make sure that we're getting better. 2 senior starters are returning to the lineup this year, with Rich Smith and Braden Hubbard both coming back. Hubbard was the 3rd leading scorer on the team last year with 11 points per game, and looks to continue that this season.
And we're going to keep working during practice and getting closer as time goes on, but we're ready to start the season and have a great first half of the season.
As both teams' season begins, they've looked to capitalize in what will be the WAC's final season of competition. I'm Hayden DeLand with The Optimist.
Volleyball will host the University of Texas Arlington on November 1st as one of its final 4 conference games of the season. The Wildcats will later host the conference tournament this year in Moody Coliseum on November 20th through the 22nd. Hey, moving over to women's golf, they finished their season on October 7th at the University of Oklahoma's Intercollegiate Tournament. Senior Ryan Honey had an individual win at the Lady Clerico on September 16th. The team will start its spring season on January 25th at the PDI Intercollegiate in Orlando, Florida. Men's golf finished its season on October 28th with its highest overall team finishing of the fall season at 4th overall out of 16 teams. Senior Thomas Beeson was one of the leaders for the Wildcats in 4 out of the 5 tournament games. Soccer has its final conference match of the 2025 season on Sunday when California Baptist visits Elmer Gray Stadium. If they can climb back up into the top 4 teams this year, AC will travel to Utah to play the conference tournament on November 5th through the 8th. With cross country, they wrapped up their season at the Western Athletic Conference Championship on Friday. Sophomore Andrew Villa was one of the top finishers for the men in every meet this fall. And football has some high stakes this weekend, and with that, the player to watch is quarterback Stone Earl. This year, through 8 games, Stone Earl has already surpassed his passing yards since his last stint with the Wildcats in 2021 by nearly 1,000. His arm, legs, and leadership have been huge for the Wildcats, and the team so far this year will be vital this afternoon against the Texans. Hey, that's all we have for sports, but talking about sports, Leslie Kerrigan has the details on what today will look like ahead of the game as well as into the afternoon. Leslie, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Zan. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the weather this weekend. Spoiler, it's looking good for tailgating, football, and any other homecoming events you may want to go check out. Now, there is a slight chance of rain this morning, but we're expecting clear skies just in time to warm up for kickoff at 3. Stay tuned for more weather and news coming up on the Optimist Homecoming Newscast after the break.
With working for ACU TV the past 3 years, I've been a part of many moving parts, and I've been able to see our program kind of evolve and create new aspects to our broadcast that make it better and better each year.
I came in with no idea what ACU TV was, and then last semester I was able to do a halftime desk for a football game, and that is something I've always wanted to do since I was little.
If you love sports, if you don't love sports, we got something for everyone. If you want to come and be a part of it, it's a great place to just grow.
Welcome back. One of the largest events of homecoming weekend is the parade. Attendees get to see the creative floats from Greek life and student organizations. Optimist reporter Callie Leverett got a behind-the-scenes look at the art of float making.
Homecoming weekend is just around the corner, and across campus, excitement is brewing as clubs put their finishing touches on their parade floats. For weeks, Greek life organizations have been meeting in warehouses, garages, and parking lots, working long and hard hours to put their visions to life. This year, as always, the float themes are all top secret to be revealed for the public on the day of. All parade floats will be considered to be honored for the first and second place winners to be announced during the third quarter of the football game on Saturday. Greek life organizations tend to speak really highly of the experience overall, citing building parade floats as sources of new and stronger friendships.
Really great bonding opportunity for them to be able to come together as an entire class and create something together. Like me and Emily have such a small part in getting to just facilitate and lead all of them, but they're truly doing the ones that are doing all the work.
Sigma Theta Chi has also been hard at work building their parade floats this year to live up to their win last year.
Winning was awesome last year. It was the best thing ever. And so getting to now be in charge of it and getting to lead the girls in it has been the biggest blessing because they're truly all in and so excited, and seeing them so excited makes me so excited.
Stay tuned for more coverage of the homecoming parade. I'm Callie Leverett with Optimist.
Campus will soon have more things to respect. A revised and expanded Koji Park. The women of Kojo Kai have spent years fundraising for the updated park, and it will soon be complete. Optimist reporter Michaela Clayton has more on the story.
Construction on the new Koji Park is set to be done by homecoming weekend. With construction starting over the summer, it is now wrapping up just in time for the grand opening as part of Kojo Kai Homecoming Breakfast. Kojo Kai President Makeda Marcourt explained more on this.
We're hoping it'll be done by November 1st, and that's homecoming. And so we're going to have a dedication ceremony there for our homecoming breakfast. We'll do our normal homecoming breakfast activities, but also at the end we'll have like an official dedication in honor of all of those people who have contributed. We are so just thankful for people who have donated to the new park and just the fact that it's going to impact Koji's to come.
As an expanded form of the previous park, the newer Koji Park will be central to campus and is intended to be a gathering space for all students, not just members of Kojo Kai, said faculty sponsor MC Jennings.
They wanted a place on campus where students could go and a place that made campus better. That place in between the campus center and McKenzie was the prime spot to do that.
I'm Michaela Clayton with The Optimist.
With most of the weekend activities outside, it's important to dress accordingly. Let's send it to Leslie, who has a closer look at the weather forecast.
Thanks, Ashley. In Abilene today, it is currently 65 degrees. We've got a high of 67 and a low of 43 with winds coming in from the north. Started off a little chilly this morning with a slight chance of rain, but don't you worry, it's set to clear up by noon where it'll reach 60 degrees and stay in kind of the mid to upper 60s range. At kickoff today, it should be 66 degrees with clear skies, perfect weather for a little bit of tailgating later this afternoon. Looking forward to the rest of the week, tomorrow we have a high of 70, low of 48, and on Monday a high of 76, low of 50 with clear skies. Definitely seeing it start to get cooler as we head into fall. Now for the rest of Texas. For those traveling in, we've got similar weather all around. If you're coming in from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it is currently 59 degrees with a high of 66, low of 40. In Midland, Odessa, it is currently 55 degrees with a high of 69, low of 45. And in Lubbock, it's currently 49 degrees with a high of 65, low of 44. My advice, make sure you bring lots of layers. We're seeing lots of shifting temperatures as we head into fall. Back to you, Zion, with more news.
Hey, thanks, Leslie. OpenAI and Oracle are investing big in Abilene on the nation's AI future. The $500 billion project broke ground recently and will be the flagship site for Stargate. One building is already complete with a gigawatt of power, which is enough to power about 750,000 American homes. Abilene landed this project by giving an 85% property tax abatement to the project.
The theater department is producing Shrek the Musical for its homecoming play. Shows will run from Thursday evening until Sunday afternoon and will be performed in Boone Family Theater. Optimist reporter Joshua Varner spoke to director Joey Banks ahead of the big performance.
The Abilene Christian University Theater Department is putting on its annual homecoming musical this week. The show this year is Shrek, and it will have a 4-night run here in the Boone Family Theater. The cast and crew are composed of about 50 students from within the department. It took about 6 weeks to rehearse and prepare for opening night. The homecoming musical is a tradition that dates back all the way to the 50s and is the largest event that the department puts on every year.
I encourage you, if you are interested in walking into our space and seeing our shows and learning more about us, please do so, because these are some very talented students with incredible voices. And if you have even the slightest interest in watching live performance, you've got a really great department here to do that with. So please come, and all are welcome.
Tickets are on sale now online and in the box office in the Williams Performing Arts Center. There will also be student rush tickets available 30 minutes before each performance at a lower rate. For The Optimist, I'm Joshua Varner.
Looks like the musical will be an entertaining way to close out a weekend of activities for students, alumni, and their families. Zion and Leslie, what are you most excited for this homecoming?
Man, I'm excited about Wildcat football. That'll be exciting. Leslie, what you got?
I'm so excited for Shrek. The musical looks so good.
I can't wait for both. Well, that's all for today. Thank you to our cast and crew for helping us tonight and making this happen. And thank you for joining us. Make sure to pick up a copy of our homecoming newspaper and visit our website for more coverage on the campus community.